the entire neighborhood is bugged. But I get that.
Yeah.
But we gotta get butt naked and get into and do the whole
Yeah.
thing just for her to whisper in his ear.
Yeah.
I have a message from the president.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the whole part. That had to be done that way. There's no other way it could
what?
happen.
There's no other way.
No.
Oh my
There's no
gosh!
other
I
way.
was just like, really? Welcome to Real Talk,
Where we watch movies.
so you don't waste your time or your money.
I'm Poe.
And I'm Laketta. Okay, welcome back to Real Talk. I'm Laketta.
And I'm Poe.
And today, what's on the menu is we're going to do a recap of Hulu's Paradise series. So we're only going to do season 1 recap. It's a show that we have both been watching. And yeah, let's talk about it. So basically, Paradise, from what I gather, from what I've watched in season 1, is a post-apocalyptic type of show. Just not with like Walking Dead zombies or anything like that. It's something a bit different. So in season 1, it is pretty much getting us introduced to certain characters. It's surrounded around the investigation of the president of what would you say this was, of the United States?
Yeah, it was the United States.
With the United States.
Yeah.
So the president of the United States, his name was, I believe it was Cal Bradford, is who season 1 is centered around as far as his death and the investigation of his death. So one of the main actors in this series is Sterling Brown. I believe his name is Sterling Brown.
Yep.
Okay. So we got Sterling Brown. We also have James Marsden that's playing President Cal. As far as Sinatra, who is Sinatra? Is that Julianne?
Yeah.
Julianne Knuckles?
Yep.
Is that the one that was in what's that other show we was watching? Leftovers? Was she in Leftovers?
No, she wasn't in Leftovers. She was in Boardwalk Empire.
Okay.
Also, the mayor of Easttown.
Okay.
Which I'm familiar with, and a lot of other little small things. But she's a great actress. I've watched
Yes.
through the years. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, she was good in Boardwalk.
Very strong cast amongst those three.
Yeah, just those three alone is really good. So as we go along with what season 1 is all about, we'll be introducing you to other characters and other actors that's in this particular season. Season 1 only, y'all. That's all we're talking about today. So opening of this season is Sterling Brown's character, which is Xavier, and he's running in this what appears to be this quaint community, very manicured community. And at first glance, you don't really think anything different of it. You just think that, for me, I thought it was a nice neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 1. But number 2, I thought, well, dang, where's everybody else in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
When he was running.
Yeah.
So, that kind of like threw me off in like the opening. But again, this is how they're pulling you in to this series to go ahead and start, like, I guess, presenting like suspense and things like that. And I think this series would be considered, would you say like a thriller? Or
yeah, I say thriller.
You say thriller?
Yeah. Thriller,
okay.
Suspense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, definitely that's how they're pulling us in, because the camera is only really focused at this particular moment on Xavier running through the neighborhood. And then he goes back home. And then that's when it starts introducing us to like some of the other characters. Billy, who plays Billy? I don't think I have his name.
I don't know his name. I don't recognize him really.
I don't recognize him in anything else. But yeah, we have Billy, and he's dressed in what you would consider like a service agent or a secret service agent uniform, from the head to the toes, okay? And so I'm like, at this point, we don't know anything about a president. So we're just trying to really, like, I think when Poe put this on, I'm like over there and I'm just like trying to like really figure out like what's really going on. And so Xavier goes home, and that leaves Billy and this other young lady, which we know in the show as Jane. And Billy, she comes to relieve Billy and stand in Billy's spot so he can go take a dump. Okay, like this dude needed to take a dump. I guess he needed to take a dump bad. But in the meantime, Xavier's at home. He's getting dressed for his because he's like the president's main Secret Service agent that follows the president everywhere that he goes. So it's time for him to go and meet up with the president, of course, to you know get their day started. Upon arrival, he knocks on the president's door, room door. President doesn't answer to the point where he lets him know he's coming in and he finds him deceased. And this is where all the suspense starts for me. It starts in a way because in this particular season, in this particular setup, I feel like, okay, he kept saying that not to call it in right away. So I think that was kind of like suspense. I was like, okay, why wouldn't you call it in right away?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, what's going to take place at this point?
Right.
So in relation to that, did you feel like the whole season was going to be like focused on just this particular event, or
Yeah,
you did?
going in, I didn't know anything about the show. I just saw that people were talking about it,
Yeah.
and then it was on critics list
Yeah,
of
yeah.
some of the best shows on TV. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is interesting. I like Sterling Brown. I think he's a great actor.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to see
And
what else I saw him in. I know his face is so familiar.
yeah, he was in This Is Us,
Okay.
which was a great show. I've heard. I still haven't gotten around to seeing that show.
Okay.
He was in that. He was in Black Panther.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
wasn't
he
he
had
in
that
the other one we had just watched? Is God Is?
He was in As God Is.
Okay.
He was in that. But he's been in a lot of stuff throughout the
Okay.
years. He was in a movie a few years ago, and I can't think of the name of it. But he's good in everything. He's a great
Yeah.
actor. Yeah. So
So yeah, I guess Poe and I pretty much had the same suspicions going into this season one. So basically, season one, once they discover Cal's body, it starts an investigation, and then it starts introducing some of these other, as Poe said, these strong characters. Sinatra being one of them. Now, Sinatra is a character that I believe she's the one that built this whole paradise type of atmosphere. So she was the millionaire that was able to build this. Now, keep in mind, as we're stating, this neighborhood looked very quaint. It looked very normal, but looks can be deceiving. Looks can be very deceiving. So basically, what's happening, and the reason why I say it's a post-apocalyptic type of show, is because there is a major global event that happens that sends them to what we would call I believe
bunker.
it's a bunker, underground bunker.
Very elaborate, extensive.
Yeah.
But a bunker nonetheless is what it is.
Right. So my whole thing with this particular season, because there's a lot of flashbacks. They're already in the bunker. They already have a neighborhood established in the bunker, but because of this accident or this death, it keeps flashing back to how they got there. So how they got there, I believe it was some type of, was it a nuclear event? Oh no, or was it a tsunami?
Yeah,
it was a tsunami.
Yeah.
So it's a tsunami that was supposed to be coming, but this particular president, I just feel like he didn't act quick enough. I believe he was a nepo baby, so therefore, like this was something that he got pushed into by his dad. Like he had to be the president. Like that, that was his only option. So I think he acted very very slowly to what was about to occur, and they couldn't save everybody. Not everybody can fit into a bunker, which I'm gonna get to that later, which is gonna lead us to season 2, and hopefully we'll be able to come back and do this whole review or a recap of season 2. But my whole thing was when they were showing like everybody with the Secret Service agent and everybody surrounding the president that was in the White House when this whole thing was getting ready to happen, and he wasn't acting fast enough. Who was making, my whole thing was like, who's going to make the decision of who to go? Because not even all of his service people could go.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who's going to make these freaking decisions on who's going to be able to go into the bunker? And that is also what a lot of this focus of season 1 is all about. It's about who was making the decisions, who built the bunker, who knew this event was going to be happening to build this quaint neighborhood in the underground bunker, and then who would be classified as being able to go into this bunker.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts as far as up until like the whole scenario that was happening pre them going to the bunker?
You mean after the tsunami happened?
No, before the tsunami happened.
Before the tsunami happened.
Like with all the chaos that was going on, and the president trying to make the decision when to go live to let the residents know to, you know, get home with their families, that this is something, a major event that's about to happen.
Right. So the tsunami had already happened. The initial one. You mean after in the mayhem of trying to see what to do. After the thing happened, but it was far away.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because you remember like that there was like the weather women and
Yeah.
the weather guys
Yeah.
and the news anchors and stuff.
Right.
They were still on air, and they were able to be on air.
Right, but the event had already happened, it just hadn't reached them yet because we were in the
Okay.
United States and it
Okay.
happened far away. So,
Okay.
what I think, that was an event that hadn't ever happened before, so I don't think anybody was prepared. Although they did have some warnings that it could happen,
Yeah.
until it actually happens, nobody thinks it actually can happen.
Yeah.
But with that said, I think you're right. There were a lot of mistakes made.
Yeah.
People died that shouldn't have had to die. It could have
Mhm.
been a better plan made if it was thought out more thoroughly. If people that were saying this is coming were listened to more so.
Mhm.
So absolutely, a lot of people dropped the ball. You know, from the bottom to the top. You know, a lot of people died that didn't have to die. Ultimately, it's a natural disaster, so a lot of
Yeah.
people are going to die anyway. You know, everybody wasn't going to be able to be saved, but yeah, they could have found some better ways to do it.
Yeah, I think so too. I just think that people moved very slow in this particular season, from the I'm gonna say the first episode to maybe the third episode. I'm gonna say that it moved rather slow for me. But again, I understand why it was moving slow. It moved slow, but it kept you intrigued. It kept you, you know, connected. It kept you pulled in because they were trying to identify and establish what characters, who the characters were, how close the relationships were going to be to this president, because again, this whole season is about investigating his death. So everybody is under investigation, everybody is suspected to have done it. You know, there are so many people that had access to him to be able to pull this off. So I think that's for me, from episode 1 to episode 3, it just moved entirely slow, but it kept me like wanting more. So like, okay, so we now know the president is dead. We now know that Billy is taking a dump. We now know that Jane is also at the location where the president's body is. So at this point, what's happening is that Xavier is searching the room, trying to look for clues as to what could have happened. He sees some gold earrings on the nightstand. That's clue number one for him. That's clue number one. Everybody else, the other secret agents that's outside of the room, they're trying to figure out like why he's putting the home and the neighborhood on lockdown. He's not really saying anything, and I think that's what was pissing me off in this season, is because he was like always so reserved and not wanting to, you know, give out any type of information, and it would just help bringing more suspicion on him when a whole death has happened and you're supposed to have called this in by now. Jane, of course, she's asking like, what's happening, what's happening. He calls Billy and tells Billy to come back. Billy gets there. He reveals that the president is deceased. They finally call it in. That's what starts bringing in these other characters, such as Sinatra. So then it shoots over. Every episode introduced and got you acquainted with a different character. So going into episode 2, that's when it started like surrounding Sinatra. And all of these characters, these main characters, Sinatra, Xavier, Billy, Jane, all 4 of these characters have some sort of major trauma that they're working through, but they're working through it in their own ways. And I think that's also what this whole paradise is about. So we get introduced to Sinatra. Sinatra trauma is that she's getting over the death of a child. That's her major trauma. At the same time, she's a working mom. She's the one that introduces us then to another major character, which is Dr. I think her name was Gabriella. Gabriella.
The psychiatrist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so in the season, it identifies that she is the one that is really making the judgment calls of who was able to come to this freaking bunker. And she had been studying people, but Sinatra was the one. To me, Sinatra was pulling all the strings.
Absolutely.
Because she was, to me, and I believe she was pulling all the strings because she was the one to build this with her own money.
Right.
So she's basically pulling all of the strings and saying certain people she wanted there. She wanted like assassins. She wanted these psychopaths to be there. For what? We still don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We just know that that was a request.
Yeah.
So Gabriella was looking, for that in particular. She wanted Xavier. Originally, the president basically said he wanted Xavier because he was black.
Right.
And I was taken aback by that.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it made me feel that the president was a straight shooter.
Okay.
That he's not going to mask what he feels. He's going to say what it truly is, which was cool about him. He didn't seem like a politician, which is, I think, what made him very likable. And apart from the fact that he was, put in place by his father to be the president,
right?
He was like an everyman, the type of guy that, like they used to say, if you're a good candidate for president, can you go out and have a drink with him? He seemed like that type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So I actually did. I like his forthrightness in that moment. So okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at first I was like, why would he say that to him? Like, that's something you could keep to yourself, even if that was the thing. But yeah, I get your point. Like, yeah, that he's a straightforward guy. Like, he's very transparent. Hey, this is how I feel. This is what it is. Take me how I am, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we're being introduced to Sinatra. Sinatra's pulling all of these strings. Sinatra is introduced to Dr. Gabriella by her own doctor, by her child's pediatric doctor, because her child is getting ready to pass away. That's what we know of her son. And so that's who's getting her through her grief, is Dr. Gabriella. And so they, of course, bond, and they have a strong relationship. And that's who she's going to be bringing along with her, because that's who gets her through her day to day, is this particular doctor. So she leaves it in her hand to make the judgment calls on which individuals to come. And each of them, in order to get into this bunker and to be a resident of this bunker, they have to have a bracelet that they wear at all times, and it can be scanned, and that's how they're identified that they belong in this underground bunker. This entire thing is amazing, and it's insane at the same time, because when everything goes down, the tsunami is getting ready to come to where they are, and I believe they are located in like Colorado area, which is really weird considering like right now and how it's always been. Our president of the United States have always been in like Washington D.C.
Right.
So it was just very, I guess, it was very different, being that the bunker and everything is in Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was a strategic region because the bunker is located inside a mountain in Colorado. So I guess they assume with the engineers that would be the safest, most secure place to put it.
Okay. So yeah, we going along. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about each of them. Xavier, I felt like, okay, he was just very detached, and I understand why he was detached. He was detached because at the time this event was about to happen, the president did tell him that he would get a plane for his wife, because again, Xavier could not put his foot down with his wife. His wife had an event to go to in Atlanta, Georgia, and her name is Terry, in this particular series. And he just let her go. He told the president, I haven't been able to stop my wife from doing anything for a very long time. And so she goes, but again, as you said, so many different mistakes have been made because had the president revealed, because a lot of these Secret Service agents didn't even know what was happening. If he had revealed to Xavier, hey, this is what is potentially going to be happening, and it's going to be happening at the time that your wife is scheduled to be at this event. Had he been just straightforward with him, and I think that he would have got enough courage to tell his wife, hey, look, this is, you're not going. And whatever fallout from it that she has, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's about safety, it's about security, and it's about us getting to where we need to go with our kids and for safety. However selfish that may seem, because you already know other people are not going to be able to be saved. But at least your wife would have been with you. The president negligence of not being, being transparent, how we would think that he would have been. Terry went on. And so Xavier did ask him, like, what about Terry? What about Terry? And the president did promise him that he would send a plane for her. So again, you see that the president and Xavier are really close. And then something draws a wedge between them. And this wedge is the fact that this event has happened and his wife did not make it. Or so we think right now. So they have whatever, they have a lot of disagreements, I would say, that the flashbacks is showing us. Because again, season 1, Cal is really dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we're just seeing a lot of the disagreements in the flashbacks. So my whole thing with Terry is I understand like that she had to go where she needed to go. And my thing is, if this tsunami, like you said, the tsunami had already happened in other places. If this is, and then it was supposed to be making its way. If that is definitely the case, man, F what you got going on in Atlanta. That's the way I see it. I mean, nothing is more important than my safety.
Of course.
So I'm just like, I understand being a strong Black woman and wanting to go out here and make your way and build a name for yourself. But it gets to a point where you got to use your common sense. And this was just common sense to me. And I think the way that she moved was very selfish. And so now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. When you could have just been at home. And you can already see that she and Xavier was very reluctant to letting her go, and she knew it, and that didn't matter to her. At that point, I just think that as Black women, sometimes we got to do better in that area. I understand we're very strong and we want things to happen, but we just got to do better. So she's stuck in Atlanta. I think that's where she was stuck at. I think she had made it there. And she was stuck there. And he did get a chance to talk to her when they did get on the plane. And I think that scene with them getting to the plane was very, very chaotic. Like, I just felt so bad that some of these other Secret Service agents, like, was getting killed by other Secret Service agents that was getting on the plane.
I think that was
so raw.
That was episode 7, I believe, which was the best episode of the season for me. Showing and the chaos that ensued, and it was very well done. But yeah, people turned on each other.
They turned on each other. They turned on each other, and I mean, I get it, but I was like, the entire time I was like watching this show, I was like, okay, what would I do if my name wasn't on this list? What would I do? Like, when you're in just like a regular home, what could you do? But just wait out to see if you finna die. And so they started the investigation process. Of course, I think Xavier put himself in the seat of the investigation, because at first I was like, okay, why is he the center of the investigation when number one, he really wasn't on duty that night when everything happened. So why is everything centered around him? Like, oh, he's the prime suspect. And he made himself the prime suspect because he didn't call it in right away.
Right.
So what was your why was you why was you lagging? Why like what were you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why like what was the reason that you couldn't pick up the phone at least and say he's deceased? And I think that's what got me with this whole season one
Mm-hmm.
is at the very beginning. Why didn't he do it?
Yeah.
Like what was he really looking for?
Mm-hmm.
And you already saw he was dead. He checked his pulse. As soon as he checked his pulse, he should have called it in.
My thoughts are that because he was the closest one to the president and his right hand man, so to say,
Yeah.
he would automatically be the suspect. So what he wanted to do was try to get as much information as he could himself
Yeah.
before they removed him from being able to get information and basically frame him. So that was my thought.
That was your thoughts?
Yeah, as to
Okay.
why he did it. He was
Yeah.
trying to do the investigation himself and gather as much evidence as he could before he was taken out of the picture, and then he would have no control. So
Okay. Well,
right
I
or
guess.
wrong for what the outcome was, I
Right.
think that was his train of thought as to why he did it.
Right. So that I mean, and they were really like just initially just focused on him.
Yeah.
They were like during the investigation, it was focused on him. But thankfully, we had Dr. Gabriella there because she did interrupt the investigation and the interrogation, I would say, of Xavier, and came in and she asked him one question, and that one question was, "Did you want the president dead?"
Right.
And she had an answer written in her hand, which again, this like threw me off too. I'm like, all of y'all see her open her hand and he read from her hand. Like, what the hell?
Right. Right.
Like, y'all not even doing your job.
Right.
So he reads from her hand and says yes.
Yeah.
And then that then starts getting us more acquainted with more of who Xavier is, more of who Dr. Gabrielle is. And this is they spend the whole day the next day.
Mm-hmm.
This will get me. They spend the whole day together.
Yeah.
First of all, they're having a carnival before his
Right.
funeral. Like, what the hell?
That's what you do.
That's crazy. Like,
before the pain, you know.
just let's have a carnival.
Yeah.
They all walking around with eating cotton candy,
Yeah.
snow cones,
Mhm.
popcorn.
Mhm.
Got the Ferris wheel going.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. But it's just like, really? The day before the funeral?
Yeah.
This is what we're doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, but they spend the whole day together. And so, because he goes to her house and asks her, like,
Right.
why did you do that?
Right. Right.
And so she was like, let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
So they spend, I'm talking about, they get really acquainted. They find out about the little cheese fries that's there.
Yeah.
They go to, have some cheese fries. They still walk around. And then what gets me is at the end of that particular episode, they end up in the shower together.
All right.
Butt booty naked.
Yep.
And I'm just like, already?
Yep.
That's what we're doing?
That's what we're doing. Hey,
We got to do it. I mean,
they're
I understand she wanted to be taking a shower so the shower could be making like whatever noise so that, because I'm quite sure every house is bugged. The entire neighborhood is bugged. But I get that.
Yeah.
But we got to get butt naked and get and do the whole thing just for her to whisper in his ear.
Yeah.
I have a message from the president.
Yeah.
Like.
That's the whole part that had to be done that way. There's no other way it could happen.
There's no other way?
No.
Oh my gosh. I was just like, really? And then
It's the only way.
I think what really made me mad
he was like, well, if it has to be this way.
Really?
That's what he
said? That was his thoughts?
I gotta get the answers.
Oh.
What do you do?
You say, just turn the water on. Let's talk. Let's act like we're cooking or something and talk.
I'm sure those thoughts never crossed his mind.
Right. So he do the do. She do the do. What gets me with her though is that the next day she's like acting like, oh, so is this it? Like yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
I know you didn't think that little bit of nookie was gonna get you. Y'all was gonna just be dating now.
Right. I think it was something else, but
what you think?
I think that obviously I thought that she liked him, but I thought that it was not only that. I thought it was she was trying to get as far as get more information from him and to have him be able to be used as well by her.
But I think that was the whole plan for the whole day, because all throughout that day before they even got to that back to the house,
Yeah.
she kept saying, I need to know more about you.
Right.
I need to know more about you.
Right.
So that's when we were introduced, and it kind of flashed back to, the troubles that him and his dad had, has had. And, everything that happened with him and his dad. So, and let's pause real quick and go to him and his daddy.
Oh, yeah.
How you gonna snitch on your own daddy?
Yeah. Because he was gonna kill people. He was getting.
I know he was gonna kill people, but it was a way to do it. Now, it was a way to do it. Like, you snitched on your own, and
he did tell him. He's like, Dad, you got to stop. He tried to tell him. And he didn't want to listen. So.
But I think also that did qualify him for being one of the ones that was chosen to go to the bunker, because they needed somebody down there that was very by the book.
Yeah.
And so that did qualify him.
Yeah.
So that qualified him to go, that was amazing. But after that, he and Dr. Gabriella do whatever they do. He go back home because there is a thing, a rule that he has with his kids, and that is if he's working overnight, he will always send a text to them and let them know. And he never did that. So I'm quite sure with everything that has already taken place, that is like something that was a big deal for them. So as soon as he comes in, his grown behind daughter, let me tell you something about his daughter. Yeah. I can't do her. I can't. She just too much. She just too much. She too, number one, she too grown. She thinks she too gullible. She like just goes with anybody. Like there's no stranger danger for her. Nope. Like I just go with anybody. And on top of that, I'm just not gonna do what my daddy tell me to do. Right. Even if it's gonna save my life, I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. Right. And see, that's why I got my own thoughts about this little girl. But anyway, so he gets back home, and this is where I think it picked up for me. Is the moment that he got back home, because he already knew that Sinatra is behind. Like he had a suspicion about Sinatra at this point. Right. So he's like, okay. And it's not just Sinatra. When he was in the shower and Gabriella said, I have a message from the president. It was about Billy. That's who the president was really, I guess, focused on. Yeah. It was Billy. Yep. So then that brings us to the next episode, which is surrounding Billy. So now, because Billy has already been like a high suspicion for me too, and I just was curious about him, because all we knew of him is that the opening of the show, he was there, and then we knew he was very close to Xavier. Right. That's all we know about him. That's all we haven't gotten a chance to know. Yeah. And that he has a thing going on with Jane. Right. Because they've been seen kissing, they've been seen whispering, they've been seen doing a lot of different things. Right. So now that brings us to Billy, which is a complete psychopath, a complete killer. Put it lightly. And they give us a little of his backstory. His backstory was he was abused by his father, and that led him to some academy, I believe it was. That I don't know if it was an academy or if it was like he went to it was like the military. I can't remember if it was like but whatever it was either like the military academy or some sort of academy where the instructor was like calling on him to do a demonstration, and he pretty much killed the instructor. Right. Because he just beat his head in front of everybody. So that was that. And so they're still having this thing at the carnival that's going on with him and Jane getting ready for the carnival, because it's now established they are dating. They wake up in the bed together in this episode. So now we're trying to get a little backstory of Billy. Now we're trying to figure out Jane too. At this point in season 1, I am thinking that Jane is basically just very, how would I describe her? I would say like a blonde, like don't know what the hell going on. So I think in her position right now, which we'll see in a few minutes how that happens. But I'm just thinking she don't know what the hell is going on. I'm thinking the way she comes across is like she's new in her position. Like she doesn't have much knowledge base about being a Secret Service agent. She just follows whatever Billy and Xavier tells her to do. She's new to the crew. That's the way that she comes across.
Yeah.
And so they're establishing Billy's character. So we feel like, at least I did, I feel like Billy was the biggest, the baddest killer of all. Nobody ain't gonna be able to get past Billy. Nobody. So this episode is surrounding that part of his story. But at the end of the episode, he dies.
Yeah.
And he is killed by no other than the person that I really did think she was in love with him. The way that the writer wrote that particular episode, you would think that they were really in love. But I don't know if it was a thing where they couldn't reveal that they were dating because they were both Secret Service agents and they're not supposed to, like the workplace type of thing. But I just really felt like she really, really did love him. And then I also felt like, Billy, you ain't as bad as we thought you was.
Yeah.
Because how could you not pick up on this?
Right.
Like, the girl pretty much killed him by, was it putting wine, poison in his wine, or was it on the rim of his
poison.
glass?
Yeah, it was poison. And again, that's a good point. If they're both Secret Service agents, there's certain things you should look for. But again, his inhibitions were down because he was in love. So you're not suspecting that person. So his guard was down, and she knew that. She knew that he would be the least person that she would expect. So, well, why would he? She didn't give him anything to think that way. So.
So again, I'm not sure if you guys were like if you watched Paradise, if you were paying attention to how they were doing the episodes. Every episode was about a different character. So you're seeing the trauma, and then they're gonna tie it all back together. So and the episode leads, like, it started with Cal to Xavier to Gabriella, him and Gabriella together. Now Gabriella introduces Billy Pace by saying she got a message from the president about him. Now we talk about Billy Pace. Billy Pace is connected to Jane. Now we're getting ready to know Jane's story, which is the freaking devil. She's the devil. Let's just say that. She is definitely the devil, and she was hired. Again, I could never figure Sinatra out in this season, because I'm like, okay, so why did she, because that's the person that Sinatra hired was Jane. So the entire time down here in this bunker, they're thinking that Billy was the only killer. Sinatra hired her own killer, which was because Billy was hired by Gabriella. Sinatra hired Jane, the biggest killer of all.
Right. Which,
again, for me, this was just, to me, not reality.
Yeah, me either.
Using her, number one, just her size.
Yeah.
Her size.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that this little old girl, see, she ain't gonna be able to take me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give her something to work with.
Right.
But you take down Billy, and then at this point, Sinatra. Why would Sinatra? Who put the hit out on Billy?
Right.
Was my whole thing.
Right.
Who is putting all these hits out?
Right.
Was my thing.
Yeah.
Is it Sinatra?
Right.
Is it someone else? Because it's so many different things that's happening. Now we're like, okay, Xavier wanted the president dead. The president is dead now. Did he really have something to do with it? The president was sleeping with another Secret Service agent, which was Nicole.
Right.
Okay, did she do it?
Right.
Because she didn't want to keep sneaking around because the president was married.
Yeah.
So she didn't want to keep sneaking around. So did she do something to him? Like, it was like all of these questions about like this whole entanglement of all of these characters. And then I'm like, now we introducing somebody's putting out hits on somebody, on people. Like, who's doing that?
Right.
Is it somebody we don't know? But just because of how Sinatra's energy in this particular, her character's energy was in this season, I'm like, it's got to be her putting these hits out on people.
Right.
Which was revealed in the next episode, because Xavier's like, okay, it's go time. He gets his own task force, if you will, together, and they cut their bracelets off, and they're about to take the whole community.
Right.
And so Nicole is a part of it, and she got on my nerves. Let me tell you something. She was the first one in like the very first 2 episodes thinking she done solved it already.
Right.
Like first it was Xavier. Okay, when you identified it was Xavier, then you gonna put it on Billy and this other girl, and then they made you look real stupid.
Right.
Let me tell y'all something. This lady right here, I don't like her. Paul would tell you, I don't like her. I don't like her. And we're not gonna say why I don't like her, but he know why I don't like her. But I don't like her. Okay? I don't. And then plus she's like pointing the finger at everybody but herself.
Yeah.
And then my thing is, why are you even involved in the investigation when you know you are sleeping with him? So you're gonna be emotionally driven to point at anybody because you want answers to who killed your little boo thing.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing with her. Anyway, so we got Sinatra, we got Xavier at this point. They're at odds now. Xavier is like, Sinatra is definitely got something to do with this. And we finna take this, we finna get some order and get some straightening. So he goes and he gets his own task force. These people, they really obviously trust him. And so they cut their bracelets off. They come up with an elaborate scheme of how they're gonna, take the town. The guy who was the one who took the sky down, basically, to write all of the messages. I can't remember his name, but now I can't remember his position. So I'm gonna just call him a technician.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't remember that? Okay. But they have a technician and who has access to how the ecosystem of this underground bunker works. And he has access to all of the codes in the computer. So he makes daylight go away to start writing messages in the sky. And the message in the sky was Sinatra. So I'm just like, okay, why?
Right.
Why just Sinatra?
Right.
But that was really a message to her.
Right.
To put her on alert, like, we got you. We watching you. And so she's freaking out. She's trying to get everything restored back to normal. But no matter who comes in to try to override the system, they can't override it because this guy, I guess he was the best of the best. And so I guess she goes home, because then the next scene is Xavier is in her house and he got a gun on her. And this is when it just really started really getting good to me, is because she didn't want to be shot, but she was like taunting him though. Yeah. She was playing in his face. See, I would have been and slapped her. Right. I would have slapped her with the gun. I would have been like, pop! Like, ain't nobody playing with you right now. Right. Like, this ain't, she pouring wine and stuff. Yeah. Just doing whatever she want to do. Like, she not going to be touched. Right. I was like, you need to touch her. But, so she played, she was like, before you do, I think you would want to hear this. Right. And so she plays a recording, and it's his wife on the radio. Yeah. Saying that some of them who survived. So now he all flustered. Right. All of these people that he done had come on his task force, he done forgot about them. Right. Done left them hanging. And now it's about Terry at this point. Yeah. And then before he leaves out the door, what Sinatra say? Sinatra say, you might want to call your daughter. Yeah. See, what you don't do, you don't play with nobody damn kids. Yeah. That's what you don't do. Yeah. And see, he left out and he ran home. And his kids was not home. His daughter was not at home. You want to know why his daughter was not at home? Because he told her to stay at home. She decided she gonna go do what she want to do. Yep. As she always do. And who goes to get her? Psychopath Jane. Yeah. And she just goes with her like, yeah. Oh yeah, you want me to come with you? Yeah. Sure. Yeah. See, my mama taught me stranger danger. Yeah. And that you don't go with everybody. And this is something that I talk to my daughter about all the time, because she is one of the people that if you smile at her, she will go with you. Okay? She will. She think, oh, we're friends. No, just because somebody smiles at you and is nice to you does not don't think that that's your friend. That's not your friend.
Right.
See, me, when I was growing up, if people were like too nice, oh, I put my guard up. I'm like, what they up to? They got something up their sleeve. But yeah, the daughter goes. So she with Jane at this point. I thought the little girl, trust me, I thought the little girl was going to be dead. I did. I remember like just sitting there and I'm just like, yo, I just want this to go ahead and happen. They finna kill this man's daughter. So he finds out his daughter not home. He already done lost his wife, you know, to him. His wife, because they've been down there at least 2 years at this point, down in the bunker. So they've been down there 2 years. Come back, now you're hearing your wife's voice. Now your daughter missing. What else could happen? Sinatra goes to her office. Xavier act like he don't got no gun on him.
Right.
Oh no, she's expecting me.
Right.
No, he already had 2 guns on him. He gave 1 gun. He was like, I'm not here. I just need to talk to her.
Right.
Goes in. Immediately put another gun to her head. Immediately. Like, you get, where she at?
Where she at? Yep.
Where she at? And I was like, why you just won't go ahead
and
do the trigger?
Right.
Like, what we waiting on?
Well, I guess he could because he didn't know where his daughter is.
I guess so. But see
You know,
I'm fast acting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like rapid release Tylenol.
Right.
I would have went ahead and did what I needed to do. And so, who shoots her though? Who shoots her?
Jane.
Psychopath Jane.
Yeah.
Tell me why she shot her.
Why she shot her?
I know you remember.
Yes, it's about the game.
The Wii game.
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yeah.
Psycho, I tell you.
Yeah.
So she shoots her. Now we're at the end of
Very strategically.
Very strategically. She ain't kill her.
Yeah.
She shot her. But enough to put her ass in a coma though.
Yeah. Right.
So she's in a coma, and then all of a sudden, Xavier's on a plane.
Yeah.
Start up a plane, get ready to go try on this journey to look for his wife Terry. But before he does leave, he does call Nicole and ask Nicole to look over his kids. That he's going to try and go find Terry because Sinatra played a recording about Terry, and then that's really the ending of season 1. So this particular show, when we first decided to start watching the show, I didn't know, just like Poe, I didn't know much about the show. There was not a lot of trailers about like what this show could be like. We normally, when you turn on your TV and you have like Fire Stick or whatever that you have, like different little shows or trailers will play for you, especially like on YouTube. Different little trailers will play for you, but nothing came up about this show. I was just so happened to be on my Hulu app and then saw this show, and then you also saw the show, and then you were like, we should watch this. And so I didn't know what to expect going into this. I didn't know that it was going to be post-apocalyptic type of themed, because all of the post-apocalyptic themes that I typically watch are, zombie related. It's just zombie related, vampire related. It's what I watch. And so this was like refreshing because it's like you're playing along too, because you're trying to figure it out too. You're like in your head too, like they're bringing so much of the suspense in. So I really did love this particular season 1, and I was like, okay, how are they gonna do season 2? And like, what is that journey gonna look like for Xavier? Is he gonna make it back to his kids? How is he gonna get out this bunker? Like, all of these questions was like floating in my mind when it came down to the end of season 1. What did you think about the overall season?
Well, I'll ask you a question. What did you think about, who actually killed the president?
I mean, at the end of season 1, I really didn't know who killed the president still.
Okay.
Because I think they just stopped investigating it, really.
But you know what happened with the president? Who killed him?
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Well, it wasn't very memorable, but yeah, it was that one random guy.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah,
the last episode,
Okay.
The librarian.
Right.
The librarian.
Yeah.
How they let his ass get down there.
Right. Yeah.
Was my thing.
Right. So, yeah. So, my overall thoughts, Okay, so overall, I wanted to love the show because of the premise, because of what was in it.
Okay.
I didn't hate it.
Okay.
I could say I could say I liked it enough to warrant me watching season 2, but there were a whole lot of problems I had with it.
Okay. What's your problems?
I thought that the writing, for the most part, was atrocious.
Okay.
The way the
Yeah.
characters talk, the dialogue was very clunky.
Oh yeah, Jane.
I thought there were 3 great actors on the show.
Yeah.
The president was very good at his acting. I thought he was very good. Xavier Sterling Brown was very good.
Yeah, he was really good.
But my MVP of season 1 was Julianne Nichols as Sinatra. She was phenomenal.
She
Every
always
scene
is.
that she's in, you know, she steals the show. She's
Yeah.
just such a great actress. So for her alone, and for Sterling Brown alone, and for Marston alone, it's worth watching. For those great actors, even though the dialogue was clunky and not good, I thought a lot of the aspects of the plot really didn't make sense in a real world type of scenario.
Right.
So the plot was kind of all over the place too. But the premise was intriguing enough.
Yeah.
It was a great premise.
Watching.
And the actors were good enough.
Yeah.
To warrant.
I see that.
It going on.
I can agree with that.
So yeah. It warrants a season 2 watch for me. But those issues aside, I thought it was worth watching. You know, I wouldn't say not to watch it. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I pretty much agree with what Poe is saying. Like, yeah, when you think about it, the writing was spotty. It did move like fast through the characters. Like you had to like really keep up. So I get it. I mean, I just had a really big problem with Jane.
Yeah, I had
that was my big my big person right there was Jane, and number one, her acting.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because she would like the way that they wrote her lines.
Yeah.
It could be. I'm not really 100% sure, or if it's just that she's. I don't know what else she's been in.
Yeah,
I can't really.
Right.
And I mean, that's no disrespect to her.
Yeah.
But I just don't know anything else that she's been in, and it's just. I don't know. She wasn't convincing to me.
Not at all. It was a very, very terribly written character. Very wooden performance by the actress. I don't know what else she was in, but yeah, that was not.
At first, I thought like, okay, maybe she's acting like this because she's supposed to be emotionless,
right?
She's supposed to like, be stoic and things like that. But I'm just like, but still, it was something else. Yeah. It was still something else. I couldn't put my finger on it.
It didn't work.
And so, but me, unlike Poe, like he was having his reservations about season 1. I was loving the fact that they kept me intrigued every episode. And again, you talk about somebody who watched The Resident Alien. So I am not a movie buff.
You're gonna have to review that.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know what that's gonna look
Also,
like.
the music too was, you know, I know there's certainly They're in Paradise and The Old Think Twice, and the tendency for these movies and TV shows to do these over dramatic remakes of these songs like from the 80s and such. It's so tired.
But I think that was based around Cal though, because he was a president that was into the 80s.
Yeah, he was. He was, but you know, still, you know, a lot of the time with the music, and a lot of people love that.
Yeah.
It just didn't work for me with the different music. I thought it was very corny, a lot of it. So
okay.
You know.
Okay, well.
That's a minor quibble. But overall, you know, like I said, I wanted to love it. I liked it. And I warrants a season 2 watch to see where it's going. Yes. So the highs were stronger than the lows. And episode 7 was fantastic through and through. That was one of the best television series hours I had seen in a while. So based on that alone, to shows you the potential of what it could be when everything clicks. Yeah. You know, so that's okay. So so I enjoyed it more so than I didn't like it. But yeah, those are issues I had with it. But overall, I enjoyed the season. And again, the premise was really cool. Of you know what happened with the natural disaster and how they got to where they were at and the scenarios they were put in. Like I said, the top 3 characters were very, very strong. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, we both say to keep watching. So I think at the end of the day, you should watch it. It is something worth watching. If you're, especially if you're into like suspense and thriller, this would be something that you would watch. Like, it made me feel like I was playing Nancy Drew again, because like Nancy Drew was like my game when I was like little, like being a detective. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna investigate and find out who did what.
Yeah.
But yeah, we both say just to keep watching. We did watch season 2. We will come back with a recap of season 2 at some point. I can't promise you it'll be in a couple of weeks, because we have some other shows that we're going to be reviewing.
Yeah.
But that is all we wanted to. We just wanted to give you a quick recap of season 1 of Paradise. So that was 2 perspectives in 1 TV show. So just let us know what you found that you liked about Paradise, or that you didn't like about Paradise. Leave it in the comments area. And until next time, keep watching your shows and popping your popcorn, and we will see you on another one. All right now, bye.